What is going on, Cats fans? I'm back, Ben Reeve here from The Hoop Show, and we're going to talk about some player ratings from the Cats versus Essendon game round 7. Cats obviously had a win, 4 in a row for the boys, and there was a bloke called Thomas motherfucking Hawkins who absolutely tore it up with his 8 goals and one little blemish there at the end of the first quarter. Could have had 5 goals in the first quarter there, Tom. What are you doing? No, it's pretty special effort there from Tommy. What other score could you give him other than a 10 out of 10, honestly? I don't give out 10s very often, but you had to give a 10 to Tommy for that. He joined the 750 club in the process, had 13 score involvements, and 5 contested marks. He was ragdolling anyone who came in his vicinity. So that was pretty good. And a poor bloke by the name of Patrick Dangerfield normally would have got three Brownlow votes for his performance, but I gave him 9 votes, just a shade under Tom. 9 votes is bloody pretty good under this scoring system that we're going with here at the Hoop Show. 15 inside 15s, inside 50s. That's right, 15 inside 50s from Patrick Dangerfield. 9 score involvements, including 5 goal assists. Insane, Paddy. What are you doing? 10 clearances and 5 centre clearances out of that. And all in about 64 minutes of 64% of game time. So whatever they're doing with Paddy, it seems to be working. And maybe we just keep him around that 60 to 70% of game time each match. Seems to be something that's working. Anyway, now moving on to there's a bunch of guys I've scored at 8. So I'll start with Gryan Miers. Put some bloody respect on that man's name, Gryan Miers. 24 touches. We don't care about that, though. It's how he uses it, and he's bloody well using it well at the moment. He had 10 score involvements. That's right, 10 score involvements. Only 1 assist and 1 goal assist to add to his tally. He is still leading the AFL in goal assists. Mind you, he's got 3 other Geelong blokes filling out the rest of the top 4. So it's all about goal assists at the Geelong Footy Club at the moment. And he was going I think he had 5 inside 50s as well, and went at about 83% disposal efficiency as well. So got to give the 8 to Gryan Miers for that performance. Pretty good effort. Same for Tom Stewart. I gave him an 8 as well. I thought he was always reliable down back. 26 disposals. Interestingly, 26 disposals, and of that, 24 of them were kicks. So he doesn't like to handball a hell of a lot. He backs himself on the left and the right and gets the job done. Took 12 marks, but that's pretty standard for Tom, isn't it? 10 or 12 marks in a game, and close to 600 metres gained as well. So well done, Tommy. Now, also 8, I gave 8 to Mark Blitzarves, and as you know, I probably love Mark Blitzarves a little too much, but that's my channel, so I'm going to gush. I love Mark Blitzarves, everything he does. 19 hit-outs, 7 tackles, and 4 clearances. He's doing everything. 15 disposals, including 10 of those disposals were contested possessions. So what more can you ask? 2 weeks in a row for Mark Blitzarves. Couldn't give him the 9 votes, but he came pretty close. My last player that I gave 8 votes to, maybe it could have been a 7.5, but I gave 8 votes. I scored Zach Guthrie. I rated him an 8 for his 9 intercept possessions. He had 18 disposals, so pretty good. He was getting a bit of the ball, and I think 8 of those were contested as well. So he's doing a lot of the tough stuff, and 8 marks. And I have on good authority, he wasn't done with it after the game. He went back and bench pressed 300 kilos in the change rooms afterwards as well. So the big baby, the Hulk, he cannot be stopped. He just wants to put the hurt on people, and when he's not hurting people, he's lifting weights in the weight room. So I had that on good authority. No, I don't. I'm bullshitting. All right, into the 7.5s. Not quite 7s, but the 7.5s. Jeremy Cameron, some people might have liked to score him an 8. I gave him a 7.5. Kicked his 3 goals. I think he's leading the goal kicking with Charlie Curnow still. He's just everywhere. He seems to be everywhere at the moment. There was one passage of play towards the end where the Bombers got a goal. I think Tip and Woody might have got a goal, and I saw Jazza at the bottom of the screen. He was sprinting for about 150 metres. Ultimately, he never got there, but the effort he was putting in for for a Rolls Royce forward in the AFL, for him to be doing that. If you get to see that Tipperary goal again, keep an eye on what Jezza does. That was fantastic. Now, who else we got? Max Holmes. Yeah, I really liked his game. Didn't set the world on fire, but he's just got great penetration with his kick and seems to have a lot more upper body strength now as well. So he's getting over the ball and pushing blokes off it a lot, and not being pushed off it much himself. So he was great. And Brad Close, my last one with the 7.5s, I gave him. I thought he was great early, really clean. He's getting back to his 2022 form. He's fantastic around the ball and setting up. Great link player. Had that fantastic boundary goal to get us going. And then there was one of those Tanner Bruin sort of over the head jobs with the which is similar to the grand final one. Was it to Parfitt? That's right. But yeah, Tanner Bruin was the beneficiary of Close's quick hands in the goal square there. So that was great. Now into the sevens. I've got what have I got? About seven players in the sevens. Tom Atkins, I thought he was pretty good. Did a lot of good clearance work. Seems to always have about 3 or 4 blokes hanging off him. I don't know how he even gets his hand on it with that amount of pressure. I think the opposition really rates him, and so they've given him a lot more attention this year. So if it feels like he's maybe down a bit, maybe that's what it's all about. I'll keep a bit more of a closer eye on that one, but it does seem like opposition coaches and players are putting a lot more time into Tom Atkins in 2023. So hopefully he'll have a day out soon where maybe the attention will go elsewhere. Maybe it'll start coming back to Paddy Dangerfield again now. Maybe everyone's sleeping on Paddy a little bit, including me. I didn't really think Paddy had it in him at this point in his career. Sam De Koning spent a fair bit of day in the ruck. I gave him a 7 as well. Seems to have a bit of a fun time in the midfield, running around, getting a kick and playing with some other guys. He seems to be an amazing handballer. And I won't go as far to say he's as good as Polly Farmer, but goodness me, he has the hands of Jesus Christ, that guy. He can handball those little soft touch ones and then the 20-metre handballs to a bloke on the run without breaking stride. That's my favourite part of Sam De Koning's game at the moment. Just absolutely love it. And how many times did he get called Tom De Koning during the TV coverage? Unbelievable. Mark O'Connor, I gave him 7 as well. I just thought he worked really hard and was pretty solid all day long. Did some good things and set up some scores as well. So happy with his game. Isaac Smith, happy with his game, although I should say he's being shaded a little bit behind Max Holmes now. I think Max Holmes is probably our number one wingman. So it was always going to happen at some stage, and I'm glad Max is sort of stepping up and taking that responsibility. But I think, he's dropped down. Isaac Smith's dropped down a little bit in the pecking order. I think Max Holmes is, if it comes to it, on a selection decision on grand final day, I'm probably going to go with Max Holmes on that one now. Ollie Henry. And the 3 of these together, because they all kicked 2 goals. Ollie Henry, Tanner Bruin, and Sam Simpson, all 3 of those small to mid-size forward midfielders, they were fantastic again, and they just did their bit. They're not going to get 30 touches or anything like that, but 15 touches or thereabouts and a couple of goals and some really creative work, and that's what you like to see. Now, into my 6.5. I've only got one player here. I gave it to Asava Radagalea. Didn't get a lot of it. Bombers probably scored a fair bit. But I like that Asava is really starting to understand his role a lot more. He's not trying to mark every ball that comes down his way. And look, you could have excused him for trying to, because the conditions were perfect for someone like him. But he was like, no, I'm going to punch first, and if I'm in space, I'll mark it. So I really liked his approach to the game. That's why I gave him a 6.5 out of 5. Maybe that's a bit too generous considering we leaked a lot of goals, but that's how it is. Jed Buse, first game back, looked a bit rusty. I gave him a 6, so there's a few blokes here in the 6s, a couple here. So Jed Buse looked really rusty, as I said. Jake Kolodashny, he was okay, did some good things. Again, the defence was a bit leaky, so I didn't really want to give too many high scores, other than maybe Tom Stewart. I thought was probably the standout. So, Jake Kolodashny just had a chance to kick his 4th career goal. What are you doing? I think maybe line up next to Tom Hawkins during the week and do some goal-kicking practice, because that would have been nice if you kicked that 4th goal of your career. Would have been fantastic. Mitch Duncan, I've got concerns, Mitch. I gave you a 5.5 out of 10. Looks like he might have lost a yard, or he could be injured. Or I hope they're not playing him if he's injured, or maybe it's one of those Tom Hawkins thing. Let's just play him, give him a pre-season in the team. I don't know, but he just seemed to be a bit slow, and even just the decision-making a lot of times just didn't seem to be playing on instinct a lot, and just over processing information, and it was frustrating me a little bit. And I do love Mitchy Boy, but that was just not the Geelong style. The way he's playing at the moment, he's still a great kick, super boot and all that, but I want to see a bit more get up and go and a bit of quicker ball movement. And there was just that one moment where he fresh aired it at the top of the goal square for the Bombers and led to a goal. And I was like, oh my god, just again that maybe just a fraction of it. But he's a champion of the club and champion of the AFL, and no doubt he'll bounce back. And I'll look stupid, in a week or so, which is fine. Gary Rowan, 5 out of 10. Took a nice mark. Probably the good kick, top of the 25 metres directly in front. But I think maybe struggling with some old man injuries, and that hamstring wasn't looking too great. I'm not sure. We'll see the medical report later in the week to see what that's looking like, but could have been a hammy there, and I don't know whether he'll play next week or have another rest. Could be one of those things he's in and out a fair bit, just trying to get him right. We don't want to hurt him too much, but didn't rate him too much. Look, I don't want to be too harsh. I don't like being harsh on the young guys, not at all. I was harsh on... If you watched the Sunday show the other day, I was mentioning to Rob Herbert that I was really harsh on Matt Scarlett when he played his first few games for the Catters, and I looked very stupid after that. Clearly, I didn't have a YouTube channel at that point, but no, I'm gonna take it very easy. But Mitch Nevitt, I didn't score him very high. I gave him a 4.5 out of 5. That's not to say he was terrible. He's just he was finding the ball, which I liked. So if I'm finding a positive, yes, he's finding the ball. He's just not very composed at the moment when he's got it. I think he's, everyone probably tells you when you're coming in, oh, look, it's a fast game. You got to, it's 10% quicker or whatever. And, but he just seems to be firing off handballs that are, going way over his teammate's head, and just rushing decision making and all that sort of stuff. So I think the best thing for him, hopefully he'll get an opportunity. Hopefully he'll get to stay in the team a little bit longer. And I think the best thing really for him is just more games, more experience at that senior level, understanding his teammates, understanding the Geelong way, and just feeling. I don't think he's going to get that consistency this year at all. But I just want to say, I think he needs that. I think he'll be okay once we see a bit more of that from him. He's definitely above the level at VFL. He doesn't belong in VFL, but he just needs more time. I like what I see from him, just not just there yet. So keep working hard, Mitch, and I'm sure you'll get there eventually. Jack Bowes, I scored him a 4, only because he barely played. I give his calf muscle a 0. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but hopefully he gets back soon. And we'll see him back in the team. Anyway, that's me. If you haven't already, please subscribe. There's Brad. Thank you, Brad. Put some sleeves on. It's cold. We've ticked over 700 subscribers now, so we're now pushing towards. Well, the goal is to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, but these little mini milestones, if we can get to 800 soon, that'll be great. So thank you to everyone who's signed up in recent weeks, and to everyone that's been a subscriber for a while now. A massive, massive thanks to you as well. So much, much appreciated. Anyway, that's me done. I'll catch you on the next one. And as we always say, go Cats!